Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another edition here, another season of the HomeStory Cup. HomeStory Cup 28 Retake Revelation. I'm, of course, Joseph VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all to another one of our catch-up streams. Again, we have been catching up on some of these major events that we did otherwise miss out on. Unfortunately, this was 2 weeks ago, and we were unavailable at the time to cover it live. Now we're here with some replays. Over the past couple of days, we've been covering the group stage. Group A and Group B have already been covered, and now we're jumping into Group C. Let's go. Let us go. And there were a plethora of matches available here. So many games worth checking out as well. Let us switch and see our scene over and catch up on the bracket itself. Here we go. As we have 5 best of 3s ready for us here. I say 5 just because we have 10 in total. We're not going to cover 10 best of 3s today, no shot. So we're going to be setting up the Group C broadcast into 2 different broadcasts. Again, last night we were of course live with all of the RSL qualifiers. Tonight we're going to be live with Sparkling Tuna Cup. So in between, able to squeeze in a cheeky HomeStory Cup broadcast. Let's go. Let's go. But again, hope you've all been having a great weekend, and I hope you all enjoyed the RSL qualifiers. I do recommend checking out the VODs if you didn't miss out on them, as we now have some more StarCraft to get into. Bam! Coming into Group C, we have quite a lineup here. We have Big Gabe, we got Elazer as well. Oh, and I should actually fix up his race. He is not Protoss, but we have Elazer, we have a Gabe, we have Harstem as well, Fiant, alongside Clem and Christiana. Honestly, a pretty hefty group here. Both Group C and Group D were, I would say, kind of more intense and more competitive groups, more so than A and B. And yeah, round robin group stage. Everyone plays against everyone, and these are only half the matches. One moment here as I quickly set up the, there we go, fix Lazer's race. We're going to be covering these matches today, and tomorrow we should be live with the second half of Group C. Bam! As you can see here, we have we have the other set of 5 matches tomorrow. That'll be Hero Marine versus Harstem, Elazer versus Clem, Elazer versus Christiana, Fiant versus Harstem, and Clem versus Big Gabe. Those will be tomorrow's matches. For today, though, bam, as we switch scenes back over, we have Elazer versus Harstem, Big Gabe versus Fiant, Big Gabe versus Elazer, Clem versus Harstem, and Big Gabe versus Christiana. That's a lot of Big Gabe. It's big, true. But we're going to be jumping into our initial PvZ, jumping into our first series of the broadcast. We have game 1 on White Rabbit. Sorry, ZVP, I meant to say. Elazer jumping in against Harstem here, ready for you. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. And spawning in the top right hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg. It is Elazer. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player from the Netherlands, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is a Harstem. Here we go. We are jumping on into our fresh best of 3, and I'm curious to see how they compare to each other, considering the current state of the game for both Elazer and Harstem. Elazer did retire for quite some time. Elazer, he was gone from StarCraft. If you recall last year, Elazer, he was devoting and committing so much time to what? To AoE 4, to Age of Empires 4, Elazer alongside sort of, and a couple of others as well. And it wasn't until the patch hit, the new map pool hit as well. So last year, October/November, is when Elazer came back to StarCraft. It came back to StarCraft, so did sort of as well. They committed, and Elazer has been kind of rising through the ranks and has been improving slowly over time here, getting back into his previous form, if not exceeding that form. I've been very impressed by Elazer in recent weeks and in recent months, and we'll see how that culminates here coming into HomeStory Cup. We shall see. Likewise, Harstem, of course, unlike Elazer, didn't quite retire, has been around and has been in the scene, and has been likewise improving in its own way, shape, and form, creating a lot of content, of course, on YouTube as well, with like the Harambo content, and has been finding and kind of carving his own niche as well, establishing his own presence. But how does he compare in a more competitive setting? Let's go. What I do appreciate here out of Harstem is that he does often incorporate some of his own builds. He often does kind of come up with his own builds and approach things in his own way. So even if there's like a common meta here, then very often Harstem does deviate away from the meta, for good and for bad. Like it's there's definitely, it can definitely catch players off guard. At other times it can fall in its face. So we'll see what Harstem brings to the table this time. So far, standard opener, gate expand into Cybercore, pylon gets thrown down, and with this kind of setup here, we should be seeing our tech of choice, should be seeing our Stargate. We have seen Harstem mix in some greedier builds here and there and faster Nexi. At the same time, Elazer also known for cutting corners and joining up quite heavily, but I would say that was pre-AoE, pre-AoE 4. Oh, as that is going to be a straight up Twilight Council opener. Okay, never mind. So already here, Harstem is deviating. He's going to be hyper aggressive, hyper in the face of Elazer. With his Twilight Council, this can be one of two things typically, as he does pull out. Pulls out a gas. Oh, pulls out quite heavily. Now, Glaive Adepts is usually informed by leaving 2 and 2 in gas, but here we have 1 and 1. This could be a charge all in. Yeah, this could be a two-base charge all in. The Overlord does poke forward, and the Overlord should notice the lack of gas income here from Harstem, and of course the tech of choice as well. Yeah, there was no Stalker, no anti-air, there was no denial of the Scout. Again, barely any gas mining. We can't actually afford charge. We need a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more gas. The game is being thrown down. Elazer sees everything he needs to. He can piece it all together. And there it is. There's that 100 gas. And there's that Glaive Adepts. Oh, okay. He's going into Glaives with very minimal gas income. I feel like he's got to pull back in. It's going to be 4-gate Glaives. No robo. Sorry, 3-gate Glaives. 3-gate Glaives, no robo expansion. This is a more economic variation of Glaive Adept. If you recall, who was it? Was it Skillus or Christianer? Oh god. This was like what, a year ago, 2 years ago? Was it Mana? God, it might have been Mana actually. But this was a build, this is an opener that did permeate throughout the European scene, mainly the Europeans. This did not catch on amongst the Koreans, so players like Hero, Classic, Sound, Creator, they didn't really touch this. But a couple of years ago, no sorry, this is the 4-gate variation, okay. So 4-gate Glaives into a faster expansion. Now, how can you afford this Nexus? Well, there's no robo, right? There's no robo, there's no War Prism, so without that you can take a faster base, but I will say that typically this is done with a 3-gate opener, not 4 gates. So this is a little bit more committed here from Harstem. So a slight variation. And again, we would see this a lot from players like Skillus, Mana, Christianer. Like all the Europeans, Max did dip into it. Harstem clearly as well. Does certain shade. Elazer, remember he did scout everything, so he already has his roaches. Roach production has begun. And Elazer does scout the timing of the 3rd base as well. Adepts are still sharking around, still looking for a way in. Say thread in the shade. Now, the scariest thing here about what's going on is something that I just mentioned. Harstem, this build specifically does it without the robo, right? The robo was heavily delayed, so Immortal production is also delayed as well. If Elazer were to go for a big counterattack, which he isn't, he's taking gases, but if he were to go to build up and go into like a counter all in, I feel like Harstem should not save the 3rd. Like, I feel like the 3rd base just dies. But as you can see here, Elazer's droning, Elazer's taking up into a lair, and Elazer's building up into a longer and later game. So the game will continue. And I do feel like Harstem was very vulnerable, very exposed, but alas, the game will progress. Does commit to the shade. Yeah, Shade's into the middle line, getting 1 drone so far, getting 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 drone kills. Oh, this is getting a bit out of hand. Wait, sorry, 3. And Adepts are cleaned up. Now, the other scary thing here for Harstem is because this is a Twilight Council opener and because of the later robo as well, Harstem, he has no vision, he has no detection, he has no idea as to what the follow-up is going to be. He has very limited scouting, what I'm getting at. Very, very limited. Yeah, he's relying on those hallucinations. Meanwhile, there it is. We have the German taxi all in. Elazer is getting a 4th base just for lava. He's going to be cutting workers earlier. He can join up to around 66 at most. You can see he's joining up to around 60. So 60 drones, nothing but lings, roaches, and queens to commit across the map. And what? Ooh, the hallucination scout is denied. Gets eyes on saturation at the 3rd base, but what we really needed to see was saturation at the 4th. Elazer does move out. He joins actually. He does make a wave of workers. So a little bit indecisive here. Here come the drop lords. This is to load up the queens. Elazer is still committing, but he did make a wave of drones just before this. And the hallucination saw the lack of workers at the fourth. Back in, what do we have? Yeah, he throws down the wall. Throws down the wall. Extra shield batteries. Harstem, he now knows how much danger he's in. He's already built up to 3 immortals. That's going to be the backbone of the defense here for Harstem. He's got his 3 immortals. Meanwhile, I don't see any ravagers. Oh, just now morphing in. Morphing in a handful of ravagers. This feels like it's hitting a little bit late here. Yeah, Elazer is distracted. Leading out 4 or 5 drones. Oh god. 5 drones go down. Main arm is pushing in. This does feel a little bit disjointed. The ravagers are exposed. Oh no! No, no! Yeah, some rough pathing, rough movement. Throwing away one of the ravagers. As the Elazer going for a split push. Morphing in more ravagers. Nice force fields. Locks down 2. And 2 ravagers, they get locked down. They have to get out of here. They pull away. At the same time, Elazer does push forward though. But his army being split like this, I mean, he's that much weaker for it. Does manage to morph in more ravagers though. Fires on the immortals. Oh, do connect. But there's just not enough here. Yeah, Elazer, he just doesn't have enough here. As he's running out of steam, more Zelts are warping in, collapsing onto all the ravagers. Bar's not quite connecting. And Harstem holds. Yeah, Harstem, he does hold, he does defend. Elazer, he's banking 1,000 minerals behind this as well. Like, he's been missing injects. He's been, I mean, he has no injects because of the queens. Yeah, the macro has been slipping. I believe it's a lava issue here for Elazer. But he's banking a lot of resources. And with that, the all-in has failed. The all-in has failed. Elazer, he's not really built up for a longer game here. Late Evo Chamber, late upgrades, late tech, late droning. Again, it just took far too long, and Harstem takes a lead. From this point, Harstem, he can now work towards Storm. Storm is already done. So Storm, more Immortals, building up Archons, more Templar, getting a 4th base. When you see the Elazer is spreading as much creep as he can to delay the 4th expansion. Is attempting to. Oh, so again, we're only just now saturating the 4th base. And again, just a really disjointed all-in here from Elazer. Trying to push in multiple locations. It felt like it was worse off for it. Oh no! Oh my god, the queen jump is punished. Elazer. Not like this. Now, how does Elazer recover from here? If he can contain a little bit further. My big criticism for Harstem is, where's the 4th base? The 4th should be on the way by now. It's very, very late here for Harstem, so that is going to benefit Elazer when it comes to being outscaled. It means that Harstem, he's kind of progressing a little bit slower than usual here, and Elazer has a little bit more time to recover. So that is helping Elazer. So I'll drop his Zell with. Elazer threatening a Rotrumbi. Does threaten. As Harstem, does he? Okay, I was like, does he have an observer? Observer now pops out, and Harstem can finally expand. There's still in 3 bases, they're going for the Stargate as well. Thinking about Sky Toss. Oh, we're going to be here for a while, potentially. Canalize this around though. Trying to catch the army, does force out one of the storms. From here collapsing in. Nice storm of the roaches. Oof. Lasers does take a lot of hits, a lot of damage. Does take a lot of hits. Harstem dropping into the main. Harassing top left, distracting Elazer, and he gets a queen. Might even get 2. Yeah, 2 queens go down. Yeah, messy defense here from Elazer. He will eventually defend. Same time though, ooh, catches that Harstem. Gets the mark on. 4th base is down on the way. Very nice force fields. Catching at the Roach Ravager. And again, Harstem, he's recovered. Like, sure, his 4th base is late, that is true, but Harstem, he's maxing out. He has a superior army. Elazer, he's in a very rough position here. Again, because Elazer was all in earlier, like his upgrades are lacking, he only has +1. Not just that though, but there's no further tech. There's a hive on the way, but there's no lurker den. Prison back into the main base. Harstem pushing through the center. Do you see Elazer coming from behind? Oh, nice force fields. Once again, looking down the Hydras. Ay, ay, ay. The storms are brutal. Yeah, brutal storms. Harstem does keep pushing forward. So we get 10 worker kills. Collapsing the last remaining Hydras. And again, Elazer, he shouldn't have an answer to this. Harstem is lacking a War Prism with his main army, so there are no Zealot War Pins. Prism is towards the main instead. Prism does go down. So lack of reinforcements here is a little bit concerning for Harstem, but I mean, he may have enough anyway. It may not matter. And Elazer attempting to drag away the attention. Getting caught up by the Zealots. Ooh. Jesus, as these are very efficient trades here for Harstem. Cleaning up every single Hydra. His 4th base is not getting up and running. And Elazer plummets in supply. Does plummet. And again, it's stuck on pure Hydra. There's still no lurkers. There's no Ling Bane. Oh, mono battle Hydra. Okay. And GG gets scored. There's just nothing left here. And Harstem, he will take game number 1. He'll take a lead in the series. Whew. GG. GG, well played with that. With that, Harstem does take a lead. Again, it was a bit of an awkward game, is what I will say. Elazer, Harstem, he initially went for a 4-gate glaive opener, which I feel like, as I mentioned before, could have been punished, but Elazer, he did actually drone up a little bit further, went up to under 3-base saturation, and then as he was all-inning, then he started droning again. Just a wave of workers, but it was late. It did stifle him, and when it came to the all-in itself, again, it was very disjointed. It left a lot to be desired. To leave a lot to be desired there, and with that, it kind of fell on its face. Harstem, he shut it down, and Harstem claims the win from there. GG, well played. Harstem takes a lead, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing himself, currently teamless, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Elazer. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Harstem. Here we go. So we're getting into game number 2. And again, we'll see if Harstem does deviate once again. Like, it did begin with a quirky build with Harstem going 4-gate glaives without a robo into a 3rd. I don't see him doing that same build 2 games in a row though. Welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps of the map pool, more macro maps as well. I'll say it's ill-advised to commit as hard into glaive adepts. And even last game, he didn't really get much damage with them. He killed, what, 3-4 drones? I think it was 3. So it wasn't ideal. So I'm still waking up. It's okay. We're good. We're good to get back. We're good to get. But now the hatchcast will stand the opening here out of Elazer. Just going to be settling in. Likewise, Harstem, we're waiting for his tech of choice. He throws in his pylon here next to his gas geyser further back in his main base, and we'll see if he does hide another Twilight Council or if he plays somewhat standard. I mentioned at the start of the series that Harstem is one that often does his own thing. He often does come up with his own builds or does try his own builds, and as a result can be a little bit more quirky or can be a little bit more difficult to keep up with. That was the case in Game 1. Show us what you got in Game 2. Oh, this time Harstem does open Stalker. Okay, so due to the Stalker base opener, the Overlord Scout is going to be denied this time. Remember last game, Elazer, he got a free scout. He got a free scout in the main base and he saw everything that he needed to. This time the scout is denied. Very suspicious seeing the initial Stalker. We can see that it's going to be a Stargate opener, but Harstem has some options at this point. Because he's denying vision, Harstem, he can bank up. He can bank up the units. He can bank up oracles, for example, get 1, 2, 3 oracles banked up in the main base. Otherwise, it looks like he's rallying across. It looks like just going to be rallying across his oracle, opening up standard. It's going to be a later scout out of Elazer. Ooh, as third base is being taken, a much earlier third actually. Okay, very greedy here from Harstem. Throws down the third base before the initial oracle. Harstem is building up. Elazer, he moves out and it looks like he will check for that third base and does confirm. Likewise, early Twilight Council out of Harstem. Okay, so we got an early third base, we got an early council. With this early council without a forge, there's a higher chance that this turns into either charge or glaives. This is a little more aggressive, a little more committed. I'm leaning more towards glaive adepts here, but we'll see. Technically, this could be a precursor here for an AK3 base all-in. Elazer still droning, saturating. Elazer is skipping spores. But we have 18 lings on the way. Elazer, okay, going to try to apply some pressure here. There are those glaives. As we mentioned, the early Twilight Council without a forge does scream glaive adepts. And they're coming. And if Elazer skips the safety Roach Warren, then he's going to be in danger, but there we go. We have a 4:35 Roach Warren timing. Relatively safe here from Elazer. Oracle breaks in. The Spore does finish up in time. Let's go. Let's go to Spores. At least 2. As the Oracles move out, Lings, they tend to move in. Don't find much damage. Find much. Getting 4 probes though. 4 just go down. Lings, they do scout the rest of the adepts. Roach production has begun and he has to buy more time for roaches. That's a lot of adepts. Harstem commits out. It's going to be 11 adepts here for Harstem. Back at home, no Sim City, no Warlock. But 12 roaches will pop out in time. Shades into the mineral line. Gets, I believe, 1 drone so far, but roaches are here. The roaches have arrived. Yeah, just barely. They're keeping up with the adepts so far. Only 2 drones have gone down. Harstem does get into the mineral line though. Does focus fire and he gets 5. 5 more drone kills. And Elazer reacts with an all-in. Okay, let's go. German taxi. We do have Roach speed on the way. We have Job Lords as well. Sorry, Overlord speed I meant to say. Load of the Queens, and this is what I wanted last game. Fun fact. This is the kind of reaction that I wanted in Game 1, which would work so well here for Elazer. Now we're seeing it in Game 2, but this time we do have the first 2 Immortals on the way. Oh, double Immortal production here for Harstem. If he can buy enough time for these Immortals, then he will survive, he will defend, he will claim the game. Pressure's on the Elazer. Pressure is on. Collapsing on the sentries. Just getting one. Yeah, the batteries are done in time. Harstem, the defenses here are looking a little bit too good. Let's go cannons, shield batteries. The first two immortals have arrived. Elazer, I don't think he has enough. As he's trying to force the way off the ram. Does bait at the stasis, okay. He's had the stasis, trying to get on top of the immortals. Can he get one? Ah, not quite. As the side defense does buy so much time here. Breaks through the cannons. Again, trying to get on top of that immortal. Nice Miles. Miles do connect. Oh, the first immortal does go down. He gets one, but there are more on the way. There are more on the way. Elazer, though, it looks like he has broken the third. That looks like he barely has enough. Oh, bows down the warpins. And with a continued rally here, Elazer should overwhelm. Yeah, locks down the immortals. Two immortals left down to one. One immortal remaining. Gets a full surround, and Elazer, he has done it. I was concerned there were going to be too many shield batteries, but GG gets caught, and Elazer ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Elazer, he does react, does respond this time with the all-in. Again, this is what I wanted out of game 1. We saw it here in game 2. I was concerned that Harstem, he would have too many immortals, too many shield batteries. He was initially pulling off a defense, but eventually was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. Whew, with that, so we are getting into the ace match here. We're going all the way to game number 3. We'll see how this story ends. We'll see if this goes the way of Elazer or Harstem. Let's go. Us go spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet. We have the Polish Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing himself. Currently teamless. It is Elazer. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands representing Shopify. It is Harstem. We go. Now, Harstem, he has gone into Glaive Adepts twice now. Different variations, different forms, but, you know, the end goal has been the same. That is to adept. To adept, baby, to adept. Do we see it again here in game 3? Now, I would hope not. As I mentioned before in game 1, I do feel like a counter all-in would have been ideal for Elazer. Didn't go for it, tried to macro instead, went for a later timing, which did fall in his face. Game 2, he was like, you know what? I should be striking earlier, I should be hitting harder, and he was able to catch Harstem with his pants down just barely. So after adapting over the course of this series, I would expect to see Harstem go for something more safe, something more standard, something a little bit different. But we'll see. We shall see. No. How are you? Hope your bunnies are doing fine. Oh, the bunnies are okay. Bunnies are okay. We had a bit of an update previously, and they are recovering, doing well. They're going to be okay. Just have to take some precautions moving forward, and have to take extra care and be extra careful when it comes to certain things. But they should be okay. I think the next big step is while they recover, is rebonding them. Again, they've been separated since all this started, which was early January, like the first week of January, and now we're getting into mid-February. So it's been over a month since they've been separated. So we'll have to look to work on rebonding them. Which is going to be stressful in its own right, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Meanwhile, there's going to be a Stargate opening out of Harstem. Opening of Stargate. Stalker as well. So once again, Harstem wants to deny vision, deny scouting. Okay. Once again, it will zone a laser away. Elazer going further in. Oh, okay. Does hug the edge and should not go down to the Stalker. Elazer does pull back. Does pull back. Harstem going for his third. Once again, third base before Oracle. Once again, Harstem is cutting some corners here. Aiming his third base. Elazer does confirm the third base timing. And hey, do you see what I see? I see early Twilight Council. Did we go into Glaives again? 3 games in a row? Jesus. Okay. Harstem, he likes his adepts, Pap. He likes them. I mean, understandably so. I mean, they're pretty good. Gateway Explosion, Twilight Council. This is looking very similar to the last game. Very similar. So Oracle pokes in, gets a drone. 1 drone goes down so far. Show us that upgrade. Oh, no Glaives this time, going into early Blink. Now, bearing in mind here, there's no Forge. There's no Forge alongside this. This is very early Twilight Council, early Blink, no Forge, no +1. Based on the early Blink timing here, there's a very high chance that Harstem throws down extra gateways and turns this into a 3-base 8-gate all-in. This used to be very common back in 2023, a couple of years ago, but nowadays this is a rarer sight. So eyes are on Harstem here. We'll keep an eye on the gateways as he goes for a later Forge. So delayed Forge, delayed upgrades, earlier Blink. Earlier Blink means he can be active and assertive earlier on as well. And we'll see if he does go for a Gateway Explosion. Oh, meanwhile, would you see Elazer getting to his own Roach Warren? Would you have +1 range on the way, not melee? Elazer is making a wave of Lings though. Delaying his own droning. That is going to be worth it. Harstem moves out. Mass Stalkers are revealed. Blink is not yet done, but Harstem slips away. Yeah, he does slip away. We lose 1 Stalker. Remember, Elazer, he did not get +1 melee, so his Lings are going to be a little bit weaker this game. He's trying to go into Ling Hydra. Oh! Flash chance used. Harstem does back up. Now taking up in towards Storm. Harstem doesn't go for the Gateway Explosion, which means Harstem is macroing up in towards the mid game. It's macroing up. Elazer, because of all these Lings, his drone count is suffering. Oh. So Elazer is lacking workers. He's trying to be assertive. And the Elazer, he does run up a little bit further here. Okay, getting up to 76 workers, getting up to still under 4 base saturation. Throws down his 5th and takes gases. Now, with these gases being taken, this is typically indicative here of further tech. So we're thinking hive tech, we're thinking lurkers. For the first time in this series, we're macroing up. We're macroing up. Oh, as I'm not so certain Elazer should commit into this. We speak about this all the time, but on 10,000 feet, the 3-base setup is very defensive. It's very defendable. Elazer delays the 4th at least. I'll just delay the expansion. And speaking of, we'll delay the base once again. Another cancel. Another cancel. Oh my god, massive storms to the Lings. Yeah, storms, they pop up. The Lings, they melt. This was not worth it for Elazer. Oh god. Not worth it. As he throws away so many Zerglings. Oof. And Hydras are exposed, still keeps pushing in, catching up some side defense. But again, these are expensive losses here for Elazer. Has to back off, has to pull away. And Harstem will not be broken. Will not be broken. Elazer cutting back. I mean, with these reinforcements of Elazer, he's actually getting on top of the High Templar. Oh, can he get one? He can. Yeah, High Templar goes down. There's 3 Templar left. Oh, god, god. Still very expensive trades here for Elazer, throwing away Hydras. Oh, god. Yeah, Elazer, once again, he's slipping when it comes to his macro. We're missing injects. Or at least now he's injecting. But you can see he's backing up almost 1,000 minerals. He has to spend his money. Spend the money, Pat. As Harstem does hold. Shuts down the Hydras. Once again, expensive losses here for Elazer. We have the fleet beacon on the way. Harstem is thinking about Sky Toss. With Ling reinforcements, does get on top of the Immortals though. It's still not quite enough. Elazer, he's not taking, by the way. He's all in. Elazer's completely all in. No Lurker Den, no Hive, no nothing, just pure Ling Hydra. He's trying to win the game, which means we need to inject back. We need that Liva. And he is. That's Templar the Digimorph in. Less is no storms. Gonna be getting some of the Archons instead. Nice up stepping forward here, and Elazer gets on top of the Immortals. He gets 3. Yeah, 3 Immortals go down, the Archons as well, and Elazer, no shot, he's done it! He has slowly broken Harstem. It's taken a long time here, and it was looking a little bit, I wasn't really too convinced, but he breaks through, GG gets caught, Elazer, he will claim the series 2-1, taking down Harstem. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A bit of a messy series overall is what I will say. A little bit messy there, but in the end, Elazer, he was able to pull it off. Again, he just committed here with pure Ling Hydra. The macro was slipping. That did mean that Harstem was having a better defense than what we expected. He was holding on to his 3rd base. He was getting his 4th base up running, but if you notice towards the end, he had no storms. He was just bleeding out High Templar over time, bleeding out those storms as well, and he had none available with that. He could not deal with the mass Ling Hydra, barely broke through. GG. It was a very long, very intense all in there from Elazer, and eventually was able to overwhelm. And with that, GG, congratulations. Elazer does claim the series, and we'll be jumping into our next matchup here. Again, we have plenty of players still in this group to showcase. We have players like Elazer, players like Harstem. We also have our next duo here. It's going to be Big Gabe versus Fiant. Let's go.